Yo, I was sitting here working, um trying to finish some stuff. But anyway, I got a lot of responses. I'm sorry on the last video that I posted, just talking about stuff I had been through. So I'm gonna make it a habit of posting like whenever something comes to my mind. Because if I don't do it right then, you know what I'm saying. Me personally, I'll forget. But I two stories, two instances, whatever, incidents, whatever you want to call it, that happened to me. Uh, One was 2001. I was touring with an artist. I was actually the music director. Me and this artist was real close. So none of this is towards the artist himself, but like we we was out, and it was me and my boy Swole. A lot of y'all know him, bass player. Um, I've been with my best friend for like 20 years almost, if I'm not mistaken. But it's me and him. We're sharing rooms. We don't do that no more. We grown men. I don't I don't do the sharing of the rooms thing, but we sharing rooms. Trying to make a name for ourselves, whatever the case may be. And this particular tour, they were not paying us. When I say not paying us, I don't mean the thought of maybe getting a check this Friday or the Friday after. We hadn't gotten a check in like a month, including rehearsals. But just the thought of being on the road, we like, oh man, come on, we'll get through it. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? We'll deal. And it got so bad um, that one particular day we get to Miami. Now you get to Miami on tour, it's like, okay, you ain't going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You whatever you want to do, that's where you gonna do it at. Like hanging out. I mean, I don't really hang out, but hanging out, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling, having a good time. Nothing, nothing major, but just hanging out. We didn't have money to even sit in the lobby. That's how broke we were. Like, so I look at Swole one day, I'm like, dog, I'm starving. Like, we had an off day. I was like, what we gonna do? He's like, man, I got like 50 cents, bruh. I was like, I think I got like $1. He's like, but what we gonna do? Man, we put that, it was like $1.50, $1.60. We put that money together, and I went to the vending machine and got one soda, one grape soda, and one Twix. He took half the soda, I took the other half. He took one Twix, I took the other one. And you think about it, it's like, how many, I know people who dealt with worse, but how many of you young musicians think you can deal with that? Just the thought of, some of y'all want extra money for going to do a Bible class. Some of y'all want extra money for doing an extra band rehearsal for your church. But to be in another state, on tour, playing, at that time we were doing theaters, and you smacking, you killing everybody, and you broke. You don't have a dime. What we gonna do? That's what we want to. That's the grind we wanted to be on. So now you look at it, you pay your dues. Now look, Swole has been on tour with Rihanna since January. Before that, he toured with me with Mary for years. Before that, he did American Idol, the actual tour, for years. So man, if you pay your dues, it's gonna pay off. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing it in vain, but just do it with the right attitude. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna come. That's one story. Um, Another story. This is just for those of you that's dreaming, right? Because I always lived off dreams. Because I'm like, if I can't see myself being somewhere, like 9 out of 10 times, I probably won't ever get there. thought process about a lot of things. But this was like 99, 2000, 2000. Here in Chicago, I was playing with this group called Youth Edition. That was their name at the time. And we was doing this thing. I don't know if y'all remember Unity Day down at oh my God, what's the name of that park? I think it's Washington Park. I think that's what it is. But it was a few gospel acts. They were a gospel act, you know, but I used to always approach it like we was R&B or whatever. I used to put whatever spin on it we had. But needless to say, this particular concert, it was random. It was like Youth Edition. Faith Evans was on there. War was on there. And Drew Hill was headlining. Drew Hill was hot then. So we get up there to sound check. This is when life started changing for me. We get up there to sound check. So mind you, we're all using the same gear. Like us, Faith, War, I think they had their own instruments. And of course, Drew Hill had their own. But we walk on, and a guy that I still look up to, this guy named Gerard Barnes, he's playing for Drew Hill. Of course, they weren't there. So we walk on stage, and we see Drew Hill's band. The band's gear was pushed to the wall, like to the back. And I still get hyped. And now they do our stuff like that. But the thought of, they like, oh yeah, that's Drew Hill's and Cisco's band's gear. You can't touch it. I was like, wait, so you're telling me nobody can touch their gear until they get here? They was like, yeah. And after they leave, we break it down and take it to the next city. I was blown away. Like I was totally like, I didn't even really know that was possible. Like to get, because I know some musicians think like, well, what did you used to think about when you cut the same stuff y'all used to think about or that y'all think about? Just to think, I'm standing on this stage 10 feet away from this dude's drums and I can't touch him. We could barely look at them because they were covered. So we played, everybody else played. So it was Drew Hill's time to show up. Mind you, I told you they didn't sound check. These fools pulled up in like 6 or 7 SUV, 15 passenger vans. The band, they walked the band to the stage. Mind you, the crowd is still out there. They waiting. These fools walk on the stage and they don't even really sound check. They line check, and then Gerard hit his floor toms. And when that dude hit his floor toms, like you'd have thought God was coming back. That's how incredible it sounded. Next thing you know, the show started. That was one of the most unbelievable moments in my life where I was like, that's what I got to do. I was like, I'm going to get to the point where guys are going to walk on stage and they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's Rex's kid. You can't touch it. And it's not arrogant thing like a fact of, oh no, you can't touch my drum. No, it's just the thought of playing with an artist that's that big to where they make sure the band is taken care of and that we're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, you can't, because if you mess up his stuff, he's not going to be comfortable. So that's little stuff you musicians, if you aspire to be like a dude, not like him, but in that position, just keep dreaming about it, yo. Because I'm telling you, if it don't happen, I'm not going to say it's your fault, but you're part of it. And if it doesn't happen, it may not be for you. And if it's not, don't get mad. Just blossom in the field you in. That's what not just musicians, anybody. If you want to be a doctor and the furthest you make it is a nurse, be the best nurse you can be. Like I'm not caught up into titles. I ain't caught up into really artists or none of that. Because I'm going to be, to me, in my mind, I'm going to be the man no matter where I'm at. When we had a storefront church, we was smacking people. Like, people would come to our church and was like, this fool Rex got this church rocking like they having church at Chicago Stadium. And that's where I was at with it. Because I'm like, God bless me with this gift. I don't care where I'm at. I could be at the United Center. I could be at the Forum. I could be at the Staples Center. You know what I'm saying? I could be wherever. at Grant Park, but right now I'm at my church. So I'm not going to sacrifice waiting to show somebody else my gift on that level when I haven't done it here. So, I mean, that's just two stories for, some people to sit on. Two stories probably some people never even knew. But man, just keep dreaming and keep doing what you got to do. And when it's your time, when it's your time, it's definitely going to be your time. Like, there's nothing nobody can say about that. Then they'll be putting your instruments to the wall and be like, oh, you can't touch so and so stuff. Like, that's what happens. So God is good. Keep dreaming and keep working at your dream. Don't just dream about it. You got to be about it. All right? Later.